prequel from Showtime, Original Sin presents a fresh retcon on the Morgan family, therefore giving Harry and Dexter's dynamic a whole fresh perspective. Starting in 1991, Dexter. Original Sin introduces 20-year-old Dexter Morgan as he graduates from college, starts his forensics career at Miami Metro Police Department, and gets permission to ultimately apply the Code of Harry. Original Sin also emphasizes the Morgan family secrets and past that did not make it into the 2006 premiering Dexter series, with Harry still alive and Deb barely a teenager. Harry and Dexter have to face the fact that Dexter can no longer control his bloodlust in Season 1, Episode 1. Original Sin's returning Dexter character, Harry Morgan, muses over his past as a father while he comes to terms with his son, which sets up a flashback prior to his adoption of Dex and prior to Deb's birth. Through the figure Junior, whose sad destiny alters the backdrop of Harry's choice to adopt Dexter and his guilt over teaching him the Code of Harry, the flashback reveals a significant truth about the Morgan family. Dexter. Original Sin reveals Harry had another son before adopting Dexter. Dexter. Original Sin's debut reveals Dexter had an older brother who died as a child, offering a significant twist because Dexter and Deb never addressed having another sibling who was deceased throughout Dexter's original 8 seasons. Harry has a flashback to what looks to be the fall of 1972 or early 1973, approximately a year before he adopted Dexter and Deb from the college party. In the flashback, a younger Harry is watching a Miami Dolphins football game while calling to his kid, Junior, who abruptly stops responding to him in the backyard. Harry finds Junior, apparently 5 or 6 years old, at the bottom of their pool when he hurried outside the house. Christian Slater's Harry Morgan instantly leaps in the pool and tries to revive his kid. However, after obtaining no response from Junior, he anxiously tries yelling for aid. The flashback then pans to Harry's wife, Doris, returning home to discover Junior's body being carried away by a coroner, with Doris screaming while Harry tries to soothe her. Not only is this news that Harry had another son before Dexter a tremendous shock, but it also begs the question of whether Dexter and Deb even knew about their brother. Junior died a year before Dexter's adoption and a couple of years before Deb was born. So it's possible that Harry and Doris' grief drove them to avoid ever mentioning their dead son again, especially considering the guilt that Harry has for not being able to save him. In addition to this pain, the story of Junior Morgan's death reinforces Harry's justification for adopting Dexter as a child. Junior's death adds another tragic reason for Harry adopting Dexter in the first place. The original Dexter episode claimed that 3-year-old Dexter was adopted by Detective Harry Morgan in 1973 when he was found in a pool of his mother's blood. Harry had been one of the responding officers on the scene, as Dexter's mother, Laura Moser, had been brutally murdered in front of her sons by Hector Estrada, a drug lord who discovered that Laura had been an informant to the police. Of course, the police officer she had been sharing information with was none other than Harry Morgan, with whom she was also having an affair. Therefore, the original episode argues that a primary reason for Harry adopting Dexter was out of remorse. Since Laura had been an informant for him, Harry felt responsible for her death, so he adopted her younger son, Dexter, while leaving her elder son, Brian Moser, the futurized truck killer, to be placed in a psychiatric facility. It was also claimed that Harry and Doris adopted Dexter because Harry felt responsible for the boy after finding and rescuing him, and because the Morgans didn't have any children of their own. However, the discovery of Junior's death adds another motive to Harry's choice to adopt Dexter and nurture him. By adopting Dexter as his son, Harry felt like he had another chance to redeem himself following Junior's death. While he couldn't save Junior, Harry could save Dexter. Dexter would give Harry and Doris another shot at parenting the son that they lost, and Harry could continue to save him by trying to prevent Dexter's dark passenger from turning him into Brian, who he felt was already too far gone, through the Code of Harry. Junior's fate makes Harry's death before Dexter even more upsetting. One of the biggest surprise twists in Dexter's original series included the truth behind Harry Morgan's death. While Dexter and Deb were told that their father died from heart illness, they soon found in Season 2 that Harry died by suicide. After seeing Dexter dismember one of his victims, Harry fatally overdosed on his heart medication, being tortured with guilt about teaching Dexter the code and encouraging his son into becoming a serial murderer. While seeing Dexter in the act of his killing incited Harry's death, the past with Junior adds another terrible aspect to his fate. When observing Dexter operating as the Bay Harbor Butcher, Harry decided that he failed both his boys. Not only had he been unable to stop Junior from drowning as a child, but he had also turned his other son into a monster by permitting him to slaughter and butcher people. Harry couldn't live with his felt guilt of being responsible for both of his sons' demises, and his death tragically soon followed. It seems that was his approach to attempt to guarantee he didn't ruin Deb as well, with Harry's death plaguing his children even into Dexter. Original Sin's chronology.